Hello! Hey, I'm Sarah Baxley and welcome to Pinkie the Bear. This is my mystics, metaphysics, and mindfulness channel, and I'm here today with your weekly forecast for the week of July 1st, 2018. Okay, so let's start out. So the themes for this week are 1, catch your breath, and 2, know where you stand. Okay, so catch your breath. So basically, Sunday through Wednesday of this week is mellow AF, like totally neutral, totally like a nice time to kind of sit back and relax. I know that this also coincides with the American 4th of July holiday, so a lot of us are going to be kind of, just taking a little bit of time off, taking a little bit of time to recoup. I don't know if, some people are going to be taking off, the couple days before the holiday. I think, just looking at the transits, it looks like it's going to be kind of nice and peaceful. It was really kind of a whirlwind of a week last week, and with the full moon in Capricorn with Saturn all up in the mix, there's definitely kind of a serious turning point for a lot of people. And so I just wanted to kind of start out by saying this week, especially Sunday through Wednesday of this week, right? So the 1st through the 4th, we're just going to be kind of chill. We're just going to kind of catch our breath. We're getting ready to head into eclipse season starting next week or in 2 weeks from now. Oh my gosh. No, yeah, shit, next week. Ooh. So we're heading into eclipse season, and basically right now, like literally, if you look at the calendar, like look at this, right? So you can see that basically we have, July 1st, like you see the yellow line, that's highlighted because that's the 1st of the month, but you see if you include that 1, 2, 3, 4, literally the 1st through the 4th, there are no aspects. I mean, there's moon aspects, but they're all pleasant aspects. There's no other planetary aspects this week. All of the aspects with the moon are happy, cheerful, easy peasy. There is a Neptune conjunction, but aside from that, we're all just kind of going with the flow. It's mellow. It's, we're keeping it smooth. So, I just want to say that one of the reasons why I love astrology so much is because it's a way for me to be mindful in my everyday life. And, that's one of the reasons why I want to share with others. And, if we're kind of practicing astrology, with the idea of mindfulness, just really be present with Sunday through Wednesday. Just really know, it's a time to kind of catch your breath. It's a time to kind of relax a little bit. Just kind of own it. Just kind of be present and be appreciative for the kind of mellowness and low key of the, notes of the beginning of this week. Because there is definitely going to be a lot of action coming up this summer, even starting out as early as next week. So, just kind of be present with that. So that's the first theme, which is catching your breath, right? And then the second theme of the week is know where you stand. So basically Thursday, Friday, Saturday of this week, that's when we're going to kind of see like a final culmination of this, past moon chapter. Not only do we have the last quarter moon, which, if we're talking about the moon cycle like a storyline, the new moon's the beginning of the story, the first quarter moon is the rising action, the full moon, which we had last Wednesday, is like the climax of the story, and then the last quarter moon is like the falling action, the last kind of final turning point before we hit the end of the story, and then we begin our next new chapter next week. So anyway, so there is going to be kind of a final wrapping up that happens towards the end of this week. There are a couple, there is a Mercury-Mars opposition, right, that's on Thursday. I think there's also a Sun trine Neptune, I believe, which only happens twice a year. Those are the only 2 aspects that we have with other planets. Everything else is all moon aspects this week. And, the moon represents and governs our emotional selves. It governs the way we feel safe and secure and loved and all of that. The other thing is the moon is the boss of Cancer. Like, you know, we all know all the signs of the zodiac, but actually it's the planets that are the real bosses. So, you know, and we call, you know, obviously the moon is not a planet. It's the Earth satellite, you know, just out of sake of ease, we call them all planets in astrology, whatever. So, you know, the moon also is the boss. It rules Cancer. It is the boss of Cancer. And, you know, what planetary bodies do we have in Cancer right now? The sun sign is in Cancer. It's basically our consciousness is supposed to be focused on our emotions right now. And I think that also included with the fact that it's almost entirely moon aspects this week. There are not really a lot of planetary aspects at all this week, which I think further reinforces us catching our breath, tapping into our emotions. Again, this second half of the week, you know, the other theme of this week is know where you stand. You know, a lot of people that have, specifically people that have any type of personal planets or angles in the first decan of cardinal signs, right? So Capricorn, Cancer, Aries, Libra, you know, the full moon happened on Wednesday last week at 6 degrees. Anyone that has any of those points, last week was kind of, you know, it could have been a tough week, right? Showing up, certain responsibilities that we had to step up for, you know, kind of maybe acknowledging emotions that we had kind of pushed aside. You know, it was a tough week for some people. And the thing is that, you know, not only is it, we take the first half of this week to kind of re-nourish ourselves, but, you know, the turning point, right, this like falling action to kind of this climax of the story that happened last week is, where do we stand? You know, whatever it was that those of you, you know, who got hit, you know, hard by the full moon last week, there's going to be another final turning point to that at the end of this week. And so if you don't already know where you stand on that situation that you went through, you know, you're going to kind of get a little bit more of an idea, right? Or things are going to kind of get solidified a little bit. But, you know, there's going to be a little bit more tension, I think, towards like around like this final last quarter of the moon, right? Around Friday, you know, we're going to feel a little bit of it on Thursday, a little bit of it on Saturday. But I think if there is, you know, tension, or there is kind of, you know, chords that are struck or kind of like hurt a little bit on the inside, they're more so going to be just highlighting, you know, kind of just the ways that we need to button up whatever it was that kind of occurred last week. So just pay attention to that. Again, almost this whole week is all ruled by the moon. And so let's just, you know, be present, be mindful, honor your feelings, honor your emotions. Definitely be thankful for this first half of the week to kind of recoup, catch your breath. If you do have feelings that come up towards the end of the week, pay attention with them, honor them. And yeah, and just, you know, kind of use this week to take a little bit of time to catch your breath before we hit eclipse season starting next week. So anyway, thanks again for tuning in. This is me just doing a little experiment with this on the IGTV, because I typically do the weekly forecast on my YouTube channel, but I just thought I would play around a little bit. So anyway, thanks again. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, then leave them below. And yeah, and I will see you soon. Cheers!